What's up, y'all? Welcome back to the next segment of MSM Audio. I'm Tim. Hope you're having a great day out there. I haven't posted anything in a while. For those who have subscribed, thank you for subscribing. Life has just been lifing, but all the while, I still have been working on music. I'm going to be doing that forever. So um, today, I'm going to start a new series called From Scratch, where I just want to give some insight into my process and how I start songs and try to come up with creative ideas. And hopefully, you guys can share some concepts that you use to help you start an idea or plugins you may use, your favorite plugins. Today, I'm going to go into my favorite plugin right now, which is Native Instruments Playbox. Let me just open this up right now. This is my favorite tool right now just because of the multi-layered sounds and the granularity you can get in sound shaping that this provides, from chords to samples to effects, all the presets they have. I mean, there's unlimited options here for you to come up with something creative, different, unique to you, and untraditional, right? That's the biggest thing that I love about it. Just the sounds are just untraditional, and you can go left, you can go anywhere you want to go. So I'm gonna go into this right now. So usually I'll open up Playbox, and if you're unfamiliar with Playbox, just to give you a brief overview, look down here. You have your chord section. There's a number of preset chords that you can scroll through. You can set your own chords. There's a piano mode for if you want to create your own chords. Over here, you have the actual samples that make up the chords, and you can change the layering of the chords themselves. So you can change from synths to instruments, bass, voices, noises, or you can change to all factory. You can, and this right here, this is the randomizer. This is like one of my favorite tools because it's usually what I go to last or if I don't have any ideas, but it just randomizes everything. So there's a couple randomizers. You can randomize these particular sounds here, or you can come back to the main page and just randomize all the sounds, right? So let me go back to the samples. So you can randomize by row, or you can randomize by chord. And again, you can change the sound sources here to your liking. So already you have a number of different options. And I just, again, you can go to different presets. There are a number of different presets here you can go through. And then you have the effects module. You have ARP, Lo-Fi, EQ, Flare. I mean, and you can go to each one of these, change them if you want. And uh, within each one of those, they have separate presets for each one, right? So I started today going through some of these sounds. And as you can hear, I mean, they're not, you can go a lot of different ways with these sounds, but I landed on Art House. This is where I landed, right? So it's a nice arpeggiated sound. Now, when I first heard it, just the sound as is, I'm like, okay, I don't really think I can do anything with that. So now I start getting into sound shaping. So I don't typically mess with the chord, the preset chord. Most of them so far, at least from what I've experienced, I've liked them so far. So I just left it as is. I don't normally go into the chords to change the chord. But if you don't like it, you got a number of different sample sets here that you can go into, or again, you can go into piano mode, create your own. You can shuffle the order of the samples. Like, you can do a number of different things. So I normally leave the chords there. Even on this, the primary sound itself, you can come here and adjust some of the settings here if you want to do that. I typically go straight to the samples and I listen. Another thing that I like about this is you can go, let's say you can sample each of these sounds, right? So let's just say I don't like a portion of this multi-layered sound. You can click volume over here and you can turn down just this specific part of this specific chord, and you can do that all throughout the layering of the sound how you see fit. You can change the panning, change the octave. So right now the sound is okay to me, so I'm not going to change anything. Here's where the bread and butter is at for me. It's in the effects chain, right? All right, so I hear some lo-fi in there. So first thing I'm gonna do, I don't really want, actually, I'm probably gonna take it out, but what I normally do, I just, in an exploratory phase, I like to just scroll through real quick just to hear what the options are, just to make sure, maybe there's something in there I like that I might miss. So here you got a number of different lo-fi options. So I usually just go through them, hear what they sound like, and see if I want to keep it, take it off, or whatever. Let's see. That's different. Okay. So yeah, I'll most likely not use this, so I'll just go ahead and deselect lo-fi. Everything else I'll leave: the EQ, flare, reverb, delay, all of the processing that makes up this sound, right? So what I'll typically land on is this tab, which is the ARP tab, and here you have options. You have the ARP, strum, grain, each of which have their own presets that you can scroll through. So I'll start with the ARP and I'll go through the different presets to see if I find something that I like. And then again, this is a huge rabbit hole. I mean, every one of these presets, every one of these options have their own settings that you can scroll through and change and tweak and shape sound. So, you got to be careful too, because you can be here forever. So let me just go through these ARP presets and see if there's anything in there I can play with. Let's see. Change the speed. Let's see. Change the octave. Okay. Let's go to the next one. Turn that speed up. This is an up and down triplets. What is this? Quarter triplets up and down. ARP. Okay. What else we got? Eighth triplets up. Okay. So zigzag. Okay. That's cool. All right, let's try. Not feeling anything from the ARP right now. Let's try strum. Okay. See, all right. Now I feel like I'm getting somewhere a little bit. I'm feeling like I can. There's a rhythm in there somewhere. Okay. So I can see that my rhythm is probably going to be something like that. So I'm going to keep playing with these different strum presets just to see where it goes. Okay. What else we got? I want to make sure that speed is where I want it. Okay, so I like that. So I'm going to keep that in mind. Let me see these 16ths. Okay, so let me see, last one. Okay, so I'll probably stick with the zigzag. So I'll probably stick with that. And then again, you can mess around with the other options here. Length swing, you can play with the octave. I mean, you can mess with the LFOs here. What do we have? Yeah, you can change the wave, sine wave, triangle. There's so many different options here for you to sound shape and just come up with something unique and different, right? So what I typically do, and once I reach a point where I like the sound, I'll open up a new instance and then just keep shaping further, but I'll have that it's like a save point if you want to call it that, right? So now I'm gonna go on to grain, see what that sounds like. Okay, so that changes the sound a little bit. Okay, see, I like that. So automatically in my mind, the foundation of what the song might sound like is going to take shape. I'll probably keep that first strum, and then I'll switch it up and use the grain clouds preset to switch up the foundation of the track. Okay, let's keep going. Okay. See that's nice too. So, I'll just keep going, messing around, going through the different presets. And then I might even shape the sound to something that I like, but that's doesn't fit what I'm using right now. So I'll even take that sound, save it on another track, and use that as the layout for another song, right? So what I ended up on was, let me see, because I have the other instance open. What I ended up on, I actually put the lo-fi back, right? And I ended up on the grain clouds option. So what happened is, let me go back to this one. Let me put it back on Grain Clouds, throw the lo-fi back on. No, let me put it back on initialize the way it was. All right. So once I get to this point, what I usually do, and each of these chords, samples, the effects, they all have randomizers too. So I got the sound to a place where I like it, and I decided to start randomizing the effects chain because I couldn't really get the sound where I wanted it. So I started randomizing the effects chain. I landed on, what's the name of this one? I landed on Grain Tape Stop 2 just by randomizing, right? So I randomized it, and let's see. So once I randomized it, right, then I tried to beef it up. Started putting different types of my own effects on it. Some reverb, saturation, uh, EQ'd it a little bit, just additional sound shaping, right? So the sound went from sounding like this to sounding like this. And I like that. So from there, then I'll just start playing around with maybe drums or other sounds that might come to mind and really start working on a track, shaping out the track. Like I just started messing uh, with some drums, just playing around just to see what it would feel like, what it would sound like. Hold on, let me let that play a little bit. Right? So that would be the beginning of my track, and then that's where I was just start playing around with other ideas, messing around with drums, if I want to throw some piano in there, guitar, whatever. But that's pretty much how I start and get my foundational sound, and then I build from there. And I might even, as I build the song, I might end up, you know, going back to my original sound and reshaping it a little bit more, depending on how the song goes. So um, let me know what's some of your favorite plugins to start with, what you like to use. Um, what are some of your approaches to starting a song and building that foundational melody, the basis of your track, and building out from there? Thank y'all for tuning in. It's another segment of MSM Audio. Please subscribe. I'm gonna be here for a while. I know I was gone for a minute, but I'm back now, and this is the first segment from scratch. See you on the next one.